All right, it's September. Do you know where your money is? In tonight's Biz Blitz, our investors are about to get blitzed because historically it is not October that's the scariest month of the year. It's the month we're in. It's September. On average, it takes the biggest hit of any of the 12 months of the year. Will this year be any different? Back with our Biz All-Stars, Hadley and Rich and Steve. Steve, what do you think?
Well, look, I'm still pretty bullish, although stocks have been on such a run now for the last several years. You keep wondering. I get more and more questions now, Neil, from investors. Are we at the top of this bubble? I don't think so, but I think we might be getting close.
Rich, what do you think?
Well, part of this stock market thing, I think, is superstition. People are worried. I think part of it's legitimate in terms of the slump going down. But I'm not just worried about the stock market. I'm worried about workers themselves. As Steve pointed out, we have seen some historic highs. Profits are high, but only for the stockholders. They're not trickling down to workers. So that's my concern.
Hadley, the other argument has been that even among stockholders, they're not the same breakdown or support cast that used to be the case in bull markets, that very few are actually participating in this rally, and that is problematic. What do you think?
Well, from what I've read, some investors believe there will be some kind of correction this fall, whether it takes place in the month of September or not. But in the long term, most people tend to be like Steve and tend to be bullish for the long-term success of our stock market, that will continue to see growth and success there. But I think Rich also makes an important point. This recovery that we've seen in our economy at large over the past several years has been, in a lot of ways, a bifurcated recovery. Some people doing very well, finding opportunity and opportunity again, and other people dealing with very low wages and fewer opportunities to advance themselves, fewer opportunities to change jobs or move up and achieve the American dream. So our economy at large still has many problems just under the surface. Even the unemployment figures don't show us how serious it is that we have very low labor force participation. So it is a different story for each person in this case.
And that angst expresses itself in the darndest of ways, including for the third time in a little more than 2 weeks, what I like to call seatback rage. The latest is a Delta flight from New York to West Palm making an emergency landing last night after 2 passengers got into a real row over legroom. This is the third such plane diverted on just this issue. You know, Steve, I'm wondering what is going on here, where you know what the issue is. As soon as someone puts that seat back, they're going to land the plane, but not at the airport you want.
I can relate. I'm on the road 2 or 3 days a week, so I'm on planes all the time. The bane of my existence.
Class. I mean.
Yeah, right. That's you, Neil, not me. But you know, the bane of my existence. I always get behind the guy who reclines the seat all the way back. I'm going to give your viewers a great tip. What you do, it works every time. You start sneezing over the headrest, and then the person will put their seat back.
Oh, that's lovely. Professor, what do you make of that? Not the advice, but the fact that there's something going on here, because there's palpable rage here, and this issue with seatbacks is a big reason.
This is an outrage. The fact that the pilot landed the plane as
just on the woman's demand, land this plane right now.
What is she thinking?
And he did.
What does she think? It's her personal town car? I mean, it's crazy. I'd like to see this woman do a perp walk. And once people see there's consequences for this kind of outrage, then maybe they won't do it. But there don't seem to be any consequences, and so we may see more of them.
What happened to just common decency, though, Hadley? I mean, I was joking the other day that I have a large head. I mean, it might surprise people. I do. But at theaters, I'm aware of it, which is why I sit in the back row at an IMAX theater, because I don't want to make the screen hard to see for the poor person behind me. And I think when it applies to flying, I mean, would it kill you just to put the seat a little back? Why do you have to put it all the way back so that you're in someone's lap?
I agree, Neil. What happened to common decency? What is wrong with these people that they can't just communicate
with one another? Well, it's your generation. It's not mine. We're as kind as we can be. There are so many things you can do before you land the plane. You can ask for a different seat. You can pay for an economy plus seat. There's just so many ways to avoid this conflict in the first place. It seems out of control.
It might help if they gave us a little more leg room.
Well, here we go with the whining. You're one step away from becoming the fourth challenges. All right, guys, thank you very much. We have a lot more coming up, including the very latest developments out of the Middle East and what the administration might be contemplating with NATO allies.